Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited because in today's video, we are going to be doing my annual yearly review, which means we're going to be looking into 2022 and we're going to go month by month and pull cards like general cards, cards about your love life and all that good stuff to see maybe what you can expect and get a little bit of predictions for 2022. This is probably my favorite piece of content that I put out every year. And I know so many of you guys have been looking forward to this. So here it is. This is my gift for you guys for this season. I really hope that you enjoy these messages. Now, along with this general reading that I'm releasing onto the channel, on my website, I'm also opening up orders for you to order your own personal 2022 yearly review. So it's an in-depth message, very similar to this, where I tap into your energy and I go month by month for 2022 and pull cards for you in the areas that you're most interested in hearing about. I also, at the end of your reading, do just a general overview, any messages, anything I feel like you really need to know. And then I also customize an affirmation for you and let you know what your spirit animal is for 2022 as well. This is probably my most popular item that I offer on my website every year. It is seasonal only. This is only going to be available for a couple of weeks here as we head into 2022. So, but I have opened up many. I've cleared my schedule so that I'm ready to be here for you guys and to do this yearly review. So I am so excited. Check it out. The first 10 of you guys that order, I have set the price lower for you so you can have $10 off. So check it out. It is on sale starting today. Be one of the first people to get your 2022 yearly review, and all the information is down in the comments and the description below for if you want to order that. So we're going to just get started here with some just general information and like the numerology and like the Chinese zodiac for 2022. And then we're going to get started. We're going to get started with January and we're going to go all the way through. So I hope that you can grab a snack and get comfortable. My intention with this reading is that it will just make you feel treated and pampered. Maybe we'll spill a little bit of tea and let you know what you can look forward to. Perhaps this will help you to prepare a little bit better. And I think it's so fascinating how my past readings in a way have been pretty accurate. I've got a lot of compliments on them, and even to this day I have people sliding into my DMs telling me that they purchased a yearly review for last year, 2021, and how they're going back and they're looking at it and it's still very accurate, or it's all kind of making sense for them. So I just love that. I love how the tarot is able to do that, and I really want to share that with you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the numerology for this year. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the numerology. I'm sure some of you guys realize, when you're looking at it, 2022, we've got a 222 angel number situation going on. So in numerology, 222 is like the master builder number. So this number has a lot to do with manifestation. So yeah, it's a very powerful manifestation number. It's a sign that your manifestations are coming to fruition. So this year is bound to be very synchronistic. It's going to be a year of like everything falling into place. For some of you guys, you will have those crazy manifestations coming through, but I feel like for many people, it's going to be more of like a year that sets the stage for that, a year that plants the seeds. This energy, 222, is usually a symbol like to trust in divine timing. It's also a reminder to you not to pour your energy into negativity. So that could be a challenge of this year. There could be world events and things that happen that could be wanting to pull you into fear and negativity. We all know that the past couple years, that the system, the elites, whatever, they've been messing around with stuff. I don't want to get too into it, but, I found myself, sometimes going back and forth, especially in 2020, with giving into the fear, needing to process things, freaking out about things that I've heard, in the news or out in the world. And for me, it's really been a balance lately of kind of tuning that out and tuning into myself and my truth and moving forward, making progress and not feeding into that. So there could be some challenges this year with that. But for 222 is a sign of increased synchronicity. You might feel very connected with spirit or very connected with yourself or your higher self or your intuition this year. And I think that's beautiful. Now in numerology, when you add up 222, you get the number 6. So this is a number 6 year as well, which it's a message to keep a balance between your material goals and your personal goals and also your spiritual life and your inner life. So this is a year that will call you to find the balance between that. The way I have a feeling that this is going to manifest is that we're going to be called to be more focused on our material goals and on our personal goals, because we have actually been pulled more into solitude and silence and like a spiritual retreat and inner work over, what's happened in the world over the last couple of years. And I feel like so many of us have a new vision of what we want in the future. We've received some downloads, we've received some guidance, so we're just more in alignment with ourselves. And now it's time to anchor that energy down into the 3D and take some physical action. And so this is an energy, the number 6 urges you to take responsibility for your life. So it is kind of time to stop blaming the government, stop blaming the system, stop blaming the man, stop blaming world events, stop blaming your toxic parents, stop blaming your toxic workplace, stop blaming your situation, stop blaming, everything. I know that's hard to hear, but to stop blaming all of those things and to take responsibility and to take your power back in whatever situation you find yourself in and to move forward. So it's a very empowering energy, this number 6 here, the numerology. Another energy that the number 6 urges you to towards is to be grateful, to use gratitude to manifest. And I hate that word gratitude. It's really annoying. And there's so many people in the spiritual community who just are like, gratitude. And you're just like, okay, like what? But it's true that that energy does get you, into the vortex or, it raises your vibration. And so when you can genuinely just live with not very much or to keep things simple in your life and be grateful for the little things, to surround yourself with things that you feel grateful for and to be able to look at your situation from a different perspective, that's going to be really, really helpful during this time. And the last message of the number 6 is to be smart and use your intellect. Not to be away with the fairies and to be delusional and to just make a million vision boards and never do anything. This is a real make it happen kind of year. This is a real be in the 3D. Don't forget that you're part of this world and that you are human. Yes, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, but you're human. You're here, you're in this body. Commit to this body, commit to this life. It's definitely that kind of energy. Something else I'm really excited about with this year 2022 is that in the Chinese zodiac, it is the year of the water tiger. And I think that is so cool. The water tiger corresponds to the astrological sign of Aquarius. And we're in the age of Aquarius now. I think that's so fascinating. And the water tiger represents courage, strength, protection, altruism, revolution, and an all or nothing kind of vibe or attitude. And I feel like that goes along so perfectly with the 222 and with the 6. And the word that stuck out to me from that was revolution. We will see many revolutions in the world this year. It's about to go down, you guys, especially in the winter. I already can feel it. Lots changing, the system's collapsing and crumbling. So if it feels like your world and your life and everything's falling apart right now, it's just because you're probably feeling and experiencing that this system as a whole is collapsing and is falling apart. But in my opinion, that's a good thing because we can rebuild anew. So let's get into January. of 2022, and let's pull those tarot cards. So January of 2022, I'm going to start first with what I pulled from the Wildwood deck here. And the first card that came out was the boredom card. And I feel like this is how a lot of people are arriving into January. It's definitely this energy of feeling like you just want things to change. Like you're just sick of what's been going on in the world, sick of what's been going on in your life, sick of waking up and it being Groundhog Day every single day. I know not all of you guys are facing the same weather, and not all of you guys are on the same side of the equator, but I really do feel like for many of you, it's like winter where you are, and it might just be that, the sun isn't out as much, and that you're just experiencing maybe a little bit of that seasonal depression, and I see that energy, but I do feel like this is pushing you to set some really big goals and really big intentions. I feel like so many people are ready to make 2022 like the best year ever, and I think that 222 energy has something to do with it as well. I know everybody recognizes that as such a powerful manifestation number, and I hear from so many of my clients when they're getting readings from me that they're like, I feel like 2022 is going to be a good year for me. I keep pulling cards about people's love lives really popping off in 2022. So it really is a year of dreams. And I'm looking now at this Moon on the Water card, and what I see with it is that this is the time to plant seeds. So many of you guys will be setting intentions and will be setting goals and New Year's, resolutions. And I know some of you guys celebrate the New Year like later in January, depending on where you're from in the world. And I see a lot of that energy. But don't forget, if you watched last year's yearly review and you purchased a yearly review from me, maybe you remember how in your reading I mentioned that the real New Year, at least when it comes to the seasons and the cycles and the wheel of the year, is actually in the time of the spring solstice. So it's more towards spring, it's more towards March. And so that's going to be, you have a couple of months basically. You've got January, February, March to set your intentions. Just like during the moon cycle, if you followed my Manifest With Me in March series, like the new moon, that phase of the moon is a couple of days. So you don't necessarily have to set your intentions on the exact day of the new moon. You have a couple of days until the moon switches into a new cycle. And it's kind of like that with setting your intentions for 2022. Take your time, settle into the energy. I personally really love on the actual day of New Year's to write down intentions and just get into that vibe. But I tend to revise and vision board the first 3 months of the year, and then after the solstice in March, then I usually really get to work. So that's kind of what this Moon on the Water card is about, is this is a year to really set your intentions and goals for the biggest dreams of your life. It's an energy of no more waiting. Even if you don't know how it's going to happen, even if you're afraid to ask, even if you think it might be something that's just too big or out of reach, just set the intention. You have nothing to lose at this point, right? You might as well die trying. There's mourning in the home. I don't know if some of you guys are facing some type of loss or death in the family, or, sometimes around this time of year, the winter or, the January end of holidays, sometimes the veil is still very thin. There's people and animals, pets passing to the other side. I hate to predict that, but I just see that for some people. It could be breakups as well, or just other types of loss. I mean, there's so many different ways you can experience loss in this world, right? And so I see some of you guys wanting to spend time at home, wanting to go through this grieving process, wanting to release or heal and rest. And so things might be a little unexpected in January, but you're being told to just go with the flow and take the time that you need. I think this home card could also signify some of you guys are moving at this time or looking into a new home, or perhaps that's your big manifestation for this year, is you want to manifest the home or the house. So I think that's really cool. Let's look into the cards I pulled from the Enchanted Tarot now. So I've got the cards from the Enchanted Tarot right here, and the first card I'm pulling is this Anxiety card. It's, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I think a lot of people are just expecting that it's as soon as it's 2022 and it's the new year, that all of a sudden the slate is going to be wiped fresh and everything is going to be better. But the real new year really is not until March. You guys understand that. So the energy of this year will still be continuing on for the first couple months. It doesn't mean that just because the calendar says that's a new year, that it really is. So there might still be some of that energy continuing over. And I have a feeling that there's a lot of world events going on, that there could be, I'm just going to say it, there could be a lot of stuff going on with the COVID. There could be lockdowns. There could be, I don't know, a lot of totalitarian stuff going on with the man and the system. Whatever your beliefs are about this whole thing, what's going on in the world, I kind of feel like it's going to be a little shocking what's going down. Justice will be served, though, because we're getting the justice card. So I think maybe you just need to know that no matter what's going on, no matter what your perspective is on everything, that justice will be served. There is a natural law and order and balance to this earth. Mother Nature has a very brilliant way of making use of everything, of balancing and ordering everything. I guess we're talking about karma. Things take time, though. So it's about being patient, and you might not always see the justice being served yourself or understand exactly how it's happening, but it's happening, and this is all part of the process. I say a lot on the channel, sometimes old crops must be burned to make way for new growth, and that's literally what's going on right now. The world is burning, and we're getting ready for some new growth, and you might play a role in this somehow. You just have to ask yourself, if you're being called to stand up, if you're being called to fight, if you're being called to just do you, or, just work on yourself, trust yourself at this time, because, some of you guys are just going to want to pull back and stay out of it. And the rest of you guys might feel like, I have a role to play. So you have to trust yourself, because everyone's role that they're playing on this planet right now is extremely important. I do see some stuff coming up in love. There's a slight message of heartbreak here with this 5 of Hearts. So I'm going to have to pull some love cards in a minute about that. But this is really cool. This is the 6 of Swords, and this is a card that's talking all about transition and transformation. And guys know this is like my favorite card in the Enchanted Tarot, because it's got the rainbow, and it symbolizes that the rainbow comes after the storm. So there's probably a storm brewing around in winter and January at this time, but something beautiful is definitely going to happen as a result of all of this. So just keep the faith. And it might also be that what's going on in the world kind of parallels what's happening in your life. There could be old systems and old habits and old mindsets and old perceptions that are crumbling and falling away for you right now as you get ready to embrace a new version of you. This new time in your life is going to require an even greater version of you. And, you're good as you are. It's not like you got to change into a completely different person or something. It's this energy of being ready to grow and being ready to evolve. Now, I've got some really beautiful cards from this deck. This deck that I made, it's called Promises of Expression. And, we get the play card. So this could be advice for you for this month, like to just spend time playing. And also sun, get as much sun as you can. I'm not sure where you're at in the world. Maybe you got ton of sun, maybe you don't, but make use of it. The sun could also be a reference to the sun card in the traditional tarot, talking about how everything is merry, everything is bright. Energy is coming through for you, manifestations are coming through. So there is a strange contrasting energy to January. The phrase that just came to my mind was like, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So there could be some manifestations coming through and some things popping off. And even despite what's going on in the world, and I feel like this is kind of a message to you, like the universe kind of gifting you this to keep you going and remind you like, hey, you're good. Like everything really isn't falling apart. Everything is just coming together. And like I say a lot on the channel, nothing's being taken from you. Everything's being given to you. So there will be signs of that. And then the last 2 cards say public productivity. So some of you guys are getting ready to launch the business or be more like transparent. I work with a lot of you guys in coaching on how to start like a heart-based business, and we talk a lot about how important it is to have active social media, to show up on TikTok or Instagram, YouTube, and to show up, to put your face in the camera, to be present, to give your gifts, to build your community, to show up. And so I feel like that's what public productivity is. There might be some of you guys who are actually retreating more into these goals. Remember we talked about this as like a 6-year or 222, how important it is to ground this energy. And so I see a lot of you guys moving forward, being consistent. It could even be that public productivity card is like a message that the public or people are starting to notice, or you're getting more clients or more customers or more growth with your business or your art or whatever project you're trying to put out into the world at this time. So I think that is awesome. I've got a couple love cards for you for January, and then we're going to move on to February. I'm spending a little extra time on these first couple months because that's just like the closest months to us. I feel like a lot of us are anxious to know what's going to go down the beginning of this next year. So yeah, let's move forward. Love for January of 2022. So the first card we have is free yourself, but I've actually pulled it reversed. This makes me feel like a lot of you guys are at a crossroads right now in your relationship or in your love life, whether you're single or taken. It does give me this sense like there is some indecisiveness going on in this area of your life. It's really like, should I stay or should I go, or what path should I take, or what intentions should I set? It's like you want to free yourself from old patterns in this area of your life. And then we see the forgiving and learning card. It says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So maybe you're releasing some energy, clearing some stuff up. Maybe there's an ex or something coming back in your life, or you're having dreams about the past and you're having to reconcile this. So trust whatever's coming up at this time. We got the anxiety card for the general reading, so it could be maybe this area of your life is contributing to a little bit of anxiety. I am going to predict some breakups. I think some of you guys made it through the holiday season with somebody, but now the dust is kind of settled. That energy is over. You no longer have to keep up appearances and pretend like you're this happy couple anymore. And it's like, okay, yeah, we should just not anymore. Regardless, there is this overarching theme to know what you want, clearly decide so that it comes to you now, is what this card says, and be able to make up your mind and make a good decision about what your intentions are in this area of your life. Your intentions are so important. It really does kind of dictate like the flow of your life. So if you're running around in circles, or you don't know what you want, or you're like in between two decisions, or you're like in a should I stay or should I go energy, it's time to make up your mind and remember that whatever you choose in this area of your life will be blessed. February of 2022 is a real taking care of business month. The energy is like a little bit more brighter, I think, than January. Things are picking up. Don't judge this year just yet. We're only 1 month in. But it looks like with this Breath of Life card that you have set some really great intentions and you are ready to hit the ground running. I feel like one thing that's going to be a major focus for many people in February is wanting to increase their finances. So I'm not predicting you're going to be struggling in this area, but maybe. I see that you guys want to increase your finances, and even those of you guys who are wealthy or very settled or secure in this area, I mean, it's not going to hurt to increase the finances, and there could be opportunities for you to invest or to move things around, maybe purchase property or something like that. So there's definitely this intention to work with the money, to increase the money, to be a good steward with the money, to invest in yourself, to create more value, and that's wonderful. The card we're getting, though, is temperance. You're being reminded that Rome wasn't built in a day. You could be feeling like this process is taking forever, but remember, you're building a legacy, and that takes time. For a great oak tree to grow, I mean, that's a grand thing. If you have a big intention, if you want a lot of income, we see all of these overnight success stories, and a lot of us, we come up with these pipe dreams sometimes, and we think, if I can just do drop shipping, then I'll be a millionaire in 6 months or a year or something, and it's not always how it works. So there's definitely this message that you are very talented and you're getting more connected with your talents, but don't rest on your laurels. Talent, you've got you this far, but what's going to take you all the way and help you increase this income is maybe detaching a little bit from that and just simply being devoted to your creations and showing up every day. That's something that's a message that came up in January, and now it's kind of repeating into February. So that's fascinating. Now, we've got some love messages for February. There seems to be a lot going on in love, I'll tell you guys. Some of you guys are really starting to connect with a person that you have a lot of chemistry with. Like you're starting to notice, oh my gosh, like I never expected this, but wow, I feel so drawn to them. I feel so much chemistry. And in order to connect with this person, like there is this energy of needing to release your ex or release the fears from the past. Like falling in for a new person is really going to cause you to maybe some old fears and doubts and stuff to be brought up. And I see you just slaying that energy, cutting those cords and moving forward into this new connection. And we get this beautiful confirmation that yes, this person you're connecting with at this time is your soulmate. You guys have a beautiful energy together. I don't really get a lot of messages for those of you guys who are in relationships. And if you're not connecting with anyone at this time, just stay tuned because I'm going to have more messages for March. March of 2022. This is where things really pick up, you guys. Remember how I talked about how this is like the real new year because we have that equinox in spring? And I think I said the solstice earlier. But yeah, we've got the spring equinox, and that is like the real start of the wheel of the year, the actual new year when it comes to the earth, when it comes to nature. It makes a lot of sense, right? So you might be starting this month out a little bit insecure just because January and February hit so hard, and maybe you were expecting that new year transformation and you're like, we're a couple months into this year and it doesn't feel that much better yet, but you just hold on. You wait till the end of this month because it's going to go off. Because look, we've got the joy card. I'm so happy to see this card. This is a card of celebration. So this could be a very social month. This could be a month where you're gathering with friends. There could be something big to celebrate this month. And then we also see the Knight of Vessels, which is, I always see this as a message to just go with the flow. I think you're going to be feeling a lot more confident in your path and where it's taken you, because there is this energy of like accumulation to this month. Like definitely manifestations coming through, definitely feeling like I'm on the right path. There's going to be some signs and some rewards and some blessings coming through in March. And we see the Magician here. This card is you feeling very, very powerful, like realizing that you're the master creator of your life, setting some beautiful intentions, making things happen. And it could be that this is the month that you really feel like moving forward with your intentions for this year. I told you not to worry. In February, remember, you wanted to really move fast and you had these concerns about finances or wanting to grow. We were talking about how Rome wasn't built in a day. Now in March, finally the energy is in your favor to move forward. So this could honestly manifest in a different way for each one of you guys who's watching, but I do get messages about like landing the job, big job opportunity, travel opportunities, love opportunities. Like that word opportunity is just floating around. We also see this card about a move. Some of you guys are, deciding that you want to move somewhere different at this time. It could be a big move. It could be overseas. It could be across country. It could just be a big move up into like a really nice place, or, getting your first home or something like that. But we also see the loss card. So maybe for some of you guys, the way that you're moving, it's a loss. Maybe it's because of a breakup. Maybe you're being forced out of a place or something. It might not even be you it might not be you moving house. It could just be moving forward because of some type of loss. And I find that oftentimes like a death cycle in life or some type of loss can actually be the perfect catalyst to move you forward where you need to go. So don't be so quick to judge what wants to leave your life at this time or what's left in January and February, because it's helping you to move forward. Now, I pulled 2 cards for love for March of 2022, and I was so excited to see the commitment card. Maybe this is lingering from some of the energy from last month. Those of you guys who were like feeling chemistry and connecting with the soulmate, it could be that this month you guys lock it down or you go to the next level in this relationship. I also see this card pointing to long-term couples maybe getting engaged, moving in together, or you just like really recommitting to this connection. It's a beautiful, sparkly, meant to be type of energy. And then I got a card for those of you guys who are single. The good news is that you're really feeling yourself this month. This is definitely a good month to flirt. This is definitely a good month to put yourself out there. You might find that you're attracting a lot of different partners and potential suitors this month. Like, it might be a little crazy trying to keep up with it all. So one thing's for sure, you're feeling yourself. Your energy is bright, shiny, and sparkly. You're ready to initiate some new things forward in your life, and you're attracting a lot of people around you. I love that. April of 2022 is going to feel like the longest month ever. It's going to feel like 5 years in 1 month, but that is for the best reasons possible. Remember how in February, some of you guys were like really trying to manifest money and like were really wanting to move forward with that, and you just hit the ground running? Well, it looks like by April that has come through, and we're seeing this new path card next to it, which is a symbol that money is coming through some type of new resource, like a new path that you opened up for it, like a new pot that you stirred, a new avenue. So there's money coming through a new source or new something new. So that's really exciting. Abundance all around you. You know, it's raining. It's raining pennies from heaven. And also, like, I think that it's such an active month, you know, because obviously you have something new you've put out into the world that's bringing abundance back to you. And the abundance might not just be money. It could also be an abundance of time and fun and support and friendship. And so you're being reminded to connect with your body this month. You know, I don't want to predict anything negative, but it's possible maybe there's some type of injury or exhaustion or something that crops up this month. And that's just your body speaking to you, telling you, hey, don't forget to rest. Don't forget to make time for yourself. Like, you have time for everything, don't worry, just you need to rest a little bit. We also see this endurance card, which points to your ability to be able to keep this new abundance or this resource flowing. Like, there's a lot of work that's being required of you as you're getting this thing off the ground or out into the world. And so there's this message that, like, it's time to come down to earth, it's time to balance, it's time to rest, but it's not a bad thing at all. It's like resting after a long day at the beach and like after like having the best day of your life type of rest. It's not like the depressed type of rest. It's just like you want to keep going because you're enjoying it so much, but you got to like chill, you know? So your body's going to be talking to you this month. Now we've got some cards talking about how some of you guys want to take some new opportunity to perhaps travel somewhere to learn something new. So this could be like a travel opportunity. This could also be, you know, we've been talking about some of you guys moving overseas or moving across country, making a big move this year. I see that for many people. Some of you guys are really hesitating though. Should I study this thing? Should I go on this path? Should I travel to this place? And it's so funny because I got this message. I pulled this. It says, go. Maybe some of you guys need that reassurance. Just go. Make it happen. Do it. You know, there could be some forces or energies or things in the world that are kind of feeling like it's holding you back or something, but they're telling you there's got to be a way. So just go after it. You know, learn what you need to learn. I think some of you guys might also, this is like the student that becomes the master sometimes type of card. It's talking about how some of you guys are ready to become teachers. I know a lot of you guys who follow me here on this channel follow me because you resonate with me or you're interested in what I'm doing. You know, maybe you want to teach, maybe you want to heal, maybe you want to read the tarot, maybe you want to, you know, do something like more spiritual or more artistic, or, you know, maybe part of the healing arts, or, you know, be a painter, a writer, or, you know, a teacher of some sort. So this is a message like you're ready to step up. You don't have to wait until everything is absolutely perfect. I mean, I think there is a balance between not forcing yourself into the spotlight and to teach others if you literally know nothing. But some of you guys are really struggling with imposter syndrome, and you've learned so much, you've been through a lot, you've researched, and you might be ready to share your wisdom and your knowledge with others. So I think that go card might have just been telling you, just go for it. We're also getting this card that's talking about your environment, which I think is really interesting. That could have something to do with the message I was picking up on. Some of you guys who feel like you need that extra push to just go to that place or to travel. I always say go to the place that you feel the most alive. And obviously you guys know I'm a traveler, and so I'm going to say that, but it's very important to surround yourself with a healthy environment or to be in nature. This could be a month where, since maybe your body is feeling a little bit tired or under the weather, it might be a good time to get out into nature or to maybe, take some picnics or rest or just really enjoy the energy, enjoy the weather. This is fascinating to me, how we got this text card with the Princess of Hearts for this month in April as well. It does make me feel like you're going to get some information or read something that could be life-changing. So this could have something to do with you getting accepted to the program or to the school or the thing that you want to study, or it could have to do with the travel opportunity or the money situation. This could even be a text from an admirer or a past lover or something like that you hear from this month. So that will be interesting as well. And I guess that leads me into love. We're getting the new love card for some of you guys. I feel like it's kind of going in groups, like groups of you guys are like getting paired off with a soulmate this year. There's just so many love opportunities. To be real, I didn't see a lot for this year in 2021. I did not see much for people. I felt so bad giving love readings and telling people like, I don't really see anything. But that's very different for 2022, okay? So we're getting this new love card and also getting to know each other. So I see somebody new coming into your life. You're getting to know them. There's a really beautiful energy. Somebody new has stirred your romantic feelings, new possibilities, and new opportunities in love. And those of you guys who are in a relationship right now, I do see like a little bit of disconnection just because you've been so busy, but there's this message to stay optimistic about your love life, to stay positive. You guys are going to get a chance to connect maybe in another month or a couple of weeks. Like, there's just times where sometimes you need to have more boundaries or create more space in your relationship so that you can get stuff done, with your mission, your purpose, or your personal goals. So you guys will have a chance to kind of get on the same page later. I think the stay optimistic about your love life card could also be talking about those of you guys who are single and watching everybody else finding somebody, getting into these new relationships, and you're having that always the bridesmaid, never the bride type of energy going on around you. Like, it might be time to shed that energy or to shed that belief that you're always going to be single, it never works out for you. If you keep beating that drum out into the universe, it can become your reality. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't be sad and upset and feel your emotions, but it might be time to start working on raising your vibe in this area. And I feel like you're naturally going to be able to do that with all the blessings and abundance in your life this month in April. To be honest with you guys, I don't know what the hell is going on in May. Like, the first couple of cards I pulled were so weird. It seems to be talking about something going on in the world right now, like world events that are just very unexpected and kind of ridiculous. And I'm getting a card, this is the card I got a lot for the lockdown in 2020 and 2022 and the pandemic, and it's kind of like this bear's get in the cave, you can't come out until this whole situation settles down. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on again, but I have a feeling it's related to some type of world event that's just shocking and it's tough for people. But this could also just be in your personal life that you are going through some type of dark night of the soul or healing process, or you're being called into that hermit mode and solitude again. I know it's frustrating, but I see that. We got the death card here. I pulled the death card twice, and the death card isn't always a bad thing in the tarot. It symbolizes rebirth. It symbolizes new beginnings and new opportunities, but sometimes the bones need to be laid bare first. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to release what no longer serves you. So it's another one of those release what no longer serves you type of period shedding energy. I don't know, maybe there's a Mercury retrograde around this time. I'm not sure. Usually it's kind of in March or April, but maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, there's bound to be some type of fuckery going on in the world this month. Make sure that you come to my channel. I'll probably be talking about it and pulling readings. I tend to show up extra hard for you guys when I know that there's stuff like that going on, and try to offer as much guidance and help and support as I can. But over here, we're seeing that, that still doesn't have to affect your daily life as much as you think. There does seem to be a lot going on in love too. Maybe that's adding to the tension of this month, because we see the Prince of Hearts. We're seeing kind of a love triangle for some of you guys. Like, it might be that your energy is so bright and shiny this year, and especially in April, that you kind of got yourself in a conundrum and there's like a couple different options around you in love. You're being told to trust your instincts in this situation and to make the best decision for yourself, because it does kind of look like you might have to choose between these two people, or maybe even these 3 or 4 people for some of you guys. It says love yourself first. You know, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. It could be that there's conflict in your love life this month. But I don't know, the energy does look bright and shiny, new opportunities in this area of your life. Something else I'm going to say is that outside of love, these cards do make me think that you're having to make a decision between, like, I think a lot of you guys will be quitting your jobs this month is what I'm trying to say. A lot of you, it's like quitting your job to go after your dream type of energy. This Prince of Hearts, this is somebody who's very musical. We even got the music card, so maybe that's you specifically. Somebody who's very musical, very poetic, very talented. This is the actor. This is the dreamer. This is the writer. This is the mystic. This is the muse. And this person is realizing, like, I came here like with a purpose, and it might not be to be, you know, just working for the man or the machine or the system. So some of you guys might have your business running or going to a point to where you're able to quit your day job, or maybe your situation is in such a way that you're able to spend more time on this. That's definitely been a theme. I see a lot of businesses starting this year. I saw that last year too, but I see that, like, things getting off the ground. And I think the overall energy I'm getting for May is that even though things might be like strange in the world, or there's like some situations that are going on that are quite shocking, like when you go back to like your everyday life and your everyday reality and like what you have control over, you realize that you can still laugh, you can still smile, you can still have a good day, you can still have a good life. Like, really, there's nothing that they or the man of the system or whatever can do to get in the way of you creating a beautiful life for yourself. Because everything that you need, it's not the material stuff, it's not those things around you. It really is just your uniqueness and the way that you express yourself and your essence, and that's something that nobody can take away from you. So it might be that this is a month that you really start to value that side of yourself, and you start to make some new decisions that allow that part of yourself to shine. So June is kind of cool. I'm actually liking where all this energy is headed. I think that May like really helped you sort some stuff out. We're getting this transition card next to the Guardian. Don't freak out. This card doesn't always mean something bad, even though it looks crazy. It's actually talking about how you are divinely protected, you know, through unseen forces that you can't even imagine, and that all of this really is taking you somewhere beautiful, even if it doesn't quite seem like it. Except I think that this month is going to be a month where things start coming together. I pulled this card from the Angel deck, 2 cards actually, Signals and Change. So you are receiving literal signs and signals and messages from the universe or your inner guidance that the changes that you have been desiring since the beginning of this year are about to come through. So everything is shifting around you right now, and things might not make sense because you're in the middle of the big shift and like the old is giving way to the new. And I think May initiated that transition in. So your guides are telling you, look, don't overthink what's happening in your life. Just know that all of this is you being led to fulfillment, and you're going to start seeing those signs. So basically manifestations are coming through in June. I'm really excited to see what's coming through in July. I think July and August are going to be very telling on where this energy is leading. We see some growth you've been through in your love life. You could be starting this month off not feeling very worthy and feeling like you have to compromise, like, you know, on your self-respect. Maybe there's a little bit of trouble in paradise with some of those new relationships that started, because it could be that the honeymoon period is starting to wear off. But I think it's really cool because you're getting deeper into the intimacy with this person. And I feel like these cards are reversed because it's almost like a delay. Maybe the beginning of this month you don't feel like this, but by the end of the month you're feeling empowered, you're feeling worthy, you're feeling like you can walk your true path in self-respect. Doesn't seem like there's as much going on in your love life, nothing super exciting yet, but that's bound to change over the next 2 months because, like I said, big manifestations coming in. You're in a transition this month. The biggest advice I can give you for this month in June is just don't overthink what's happening right now. You will be fulfilled. I just love the pairing of these two cards and how they came out. I think that's going to end up being very accurate for this month. So yeah, let's look into July and August because I have a good feeling about these 2 months. July of 2022. I feel like this is the month we've all been waiting for. And if I remember correctly, it's kind of strange how last year it seemed like the first couple, first 6 months of the year were kind of like meh, but then like the last 6 months were like a little bit better. That's definitely what's going on this year. And, even the man has to take a vacation. I know I've been talking a lot about the man and the system in this yearly review, but it's something that can't be ignored. There's a fight going on in the world right now. There's a struggle between dark and light, good and evil, and the people and the government. And I think what's really beautiful is that, I don't know, I just kind of get this feeling like by this time, something's happened in the world by this time where the people have taken their power back. I think that's all I can really say. I just get this feeling like there's a celebration of some sort, that it's still unclear where things are headed, but it's a good start at least. And there's something going on. And it's positive. And then, in your personal life, you're feeling a sense of self-respect for yourself you've never felt before. And that's really what is essential in order for you to create a beautiful life, is to respect yourself. Because when you respect yourself, you respect others. When you respect yourself, you respect the earth. And, likewise, people respect you. The earth respects you. Like it's this energy of, alignment, honestly. And we see that at this point in time, you're very, very loyal to your destiny. So you have taken power over your destiny. You're not looking at destiny or life as something that just happens to you. You see yourself as like you happen to life. You create your destiny. And it's just a very empowered way of being, an energy, a mindset that you had this month. I see you carrying forward forever. And it could be that a couple things that happened, over 2020, 2021, and especially the beginning of this year is what became the catalyst for you to get to this place mentally and emotionally. And you've done the work, really. We are also getting the twin flame card. So this could be a message of, twin flames uniting, or, marriage or union, or people coming together in love. Very powerful energy in love. I'm not even pulling any love cards. I mean, I pulled one and it just says you deserve love. You're lovable. You're worthy. This could be one of the first times in your life that you're just allowing this energy. I think oftentimes we push love away. We push away opportunities. We very suspicious in relationships because of the trauma and things we've been through in the past. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to see the light in another person and to be able to accept and allow and welcome love in. So that's very much a theme of this month. If this doesn't have to do with your love life, it could also symbolize like the union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And that reminds me again of that numerology that we talked about in the beginning of this reading with the number 6, because we were talking about the balance between like your material goals and then also like your spiritual or your inner world. And I see with this card, like the divine feminine is like the creative side, the intuitive side, the side that comes up with the ideas and nurtures them. And then the divine masculine is like the action taker, the protector, the one who makes it happen. And so it's like you bring both of these energies together really well at this time of your life, and it's leading to manifestations coming through. So just like I said last month, I felt like we got the transition card. We're talking about manifestations coming through. Here it is. For a lot of you guys, it's manifested in your love life or just your state of being. And we also pulled the embrace card, which I think is really sweet. It does make me think a lot about like maybe you're on a getaway with your partner, or you're on cloud 9 in your relationship right now, or you're falling in love. And so it's a very, very sweet energy. And I feel like these cards that I pulled from my word deck are just so empowering, and they read realize advancement, lead authenticity. So they're just like right now you are realizing advancement, like that change you wanted, the increase in the finances, the advancement you wanted in the love life, just like all of that is moving forward. And it was like a inner phase or inner state that you reached first that brought this about. And it really wasn't even about perfection, because you're realizing that was actually easier than I thought. Do you guys ever like pull cards from the tarot and then you're like, And you put it back and you draw another one. I totally just did that for August. Um, yeah, I really thought this month was going to be like awesome, like July. It's not like it's going to be bad, but like something's going on. Maybe it's because like, it's just the contrast. So many good things were happening. Maybe there's some doubts coming in, because sometimes we do that. We block our blessings by like doubting it, wondering if we're worthy. We saw some like you working on that in the cards. So the first thing I'm going to say, positive message for August, is there's this reunion card. So it might be like that there's a family reunion this month, or that you're being reunited with somebody from your past, or you're seeing people you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe you're being reunited with like people from a past life, like soul connections or soulmates or people from your soul family, or there's new friends coming in. I definitely see a very social energy this month. That's usually pretty typical in August. So there's definitely a beautiful like reunion energy. I see you communing with nature. I really do see some beautiful vibes, but there's definitely like a lone wolf energy and then a 5 of swords. So maybe am I predicting breakups? There seems to be a lot going on in love this year for 2022. Now that I'm over halfway through and I'm kind of thinking back on the cards I've pulled, like part of me is like, maybe I should just scrap all these cards and let's just talk about love, because it does seem like something's going on. But of course, this is a general reading, so I'm only able to say so much, that's going to resonate with everybody here. But the 5 of Swords does make me think that there is something going on in your inner world, like in your thoughts, your feelings, your anxieties. Like you could be feeling like this lone wolf is sometimes people judging you, or you like people not understanding you. Like you want to go on your own path, you want to set yourself apart, you want to be different, you have something new you want to manifest. It could be that all of this is coming up because you just had some major manifestations come through. You had a time of celebration, you were able to rest and recoup and really clear the slate. And oftentimes the way that we realize we want to manifest something new is because we're like upset with what's going on, or we realize that we've outgrown a situation, or we're tired of it. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe you've realized you've outgrown something, you're tired of what's going on, you're feeling that lone wolf energy, like you want to go in a different direction, you want to carve out your own path. This wolf is like howling at the moon. It's always a symbol of like wanting to manifest something new and put all your energy and attention and focus into it. And then, this finding card is like you're trying to find like what it is that's going to make you feel better, but you have to remember that that's usually your perception. Your perception is what's going to help you feel better. It's everything that's inside. It's not always about manifesting something new or changing your outer world, although that helps. We're also getting the planets card. So they're saying, I haven't really looked into the astrology for every single month yet, but I do get this vibe that maybe there's something going on in the planets, or some type of retrograde or something that's keeping you from, being able to really enjoy the bliss this month, just to put it frankly. I also see that despite the seeming chaos that's around you this month, there will still be a sense of security around you this month, a sense of stability, and you laid the foundation for that months ago, and maybe even for many, many years. We saw that coming up in the cards, so I wouldn't be worried hearing this part of the message and thinking everything's going to fall apart this month. There's something, there's just, you're having a little bit of uncertainty because there might be some type of decision or choice you need to make, and your guides are telling you to just give it some time. Give it some time. Maybe you need to retreat into self-care so that you can step back from the situation and be able to make a more like a wiser decision. But I see everything panning out well, and I'm excited for September to see how all of this energy moves forward. September of 2022 is like a breath of fresh air. I welcome this month. We got some really great cards from the Wildwood deck. We got the happiness card, the balance card, the generosity card. Those cards are pretty self-explanatory. You're feeling balanced, you're feeling happy. And then the generosity card is like the universe pulling out all the stops for you. It's another card that's talking about abundance, wealth, finances, security, stability. That's one thing for sure. I really keep getting those messages about security and stability. I feel like those are some major themes for this year in 2022, and so many of you guys are finally tapping into that within and without. So isn't this energy just beautiful? We're getting the Queen of Pentacles, and I pulled some cards along with that from my word deck that says discreet start, genuine. So this makes me think that you are starting some type of new business, or maybe even opening up another avenue for income, or this could be like a hobby or something you really enjoy, or a new path that you want to carve out for yourself. It's something that you're starting like really subtly. You might not be telling many people about it. Maybe you're like a little embarrassed, or like it's just the beginning. Like maybe it's something like you signed up for adult ballet classes or something like that, you know? It's something like that, and but it's something that you're so genuine about. It's something you've been wanting to do for so long, and it's like the time is perfect right now. And it's also that back to work, back to school kind of energy after the summer. And so I'm definitely getting this vibe that you're very much in sync with that, and you're wanting to make a new start or plant a new seed, and there's a lot of doors opening for that. And this is a very divine feminine type of month. I have to say, overall, this whole year does feel like a very strong divine masculine healing type of year, but this is a very feminine month, feminine energy. And I think that's really beautiful. And then I pulled a love card, and we're getting the attraction card, and I love the message on this card. It says, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So this is definitely a month to connect with nature. I'm sure perhaps over the summer you had a chance to do that, but maybe where you're living it's fall and the leaves are turning, and maybe you just feel so in sync with these cycles and these seasons and these changes. You're definitely being told to connect with nature at this time, and I get the feeling that you're feeling very confident and comfortable and attractive in yourself and in your body. I also got this message about physical transformation. A lot of you guys have actually been through a physical transformation this year. Perhaps you set some goals to eat healthier, exercise, get more water, take good care of your body. And remember that Numerology 6, which was about balancing your practical physical goals with your spiritual goals. I do feel like that energy of balance has returned to your body as well. And so you're glowing from the inside out. And this could also be a sign you're attracting something in love for those of you guys who have been single. Maybe some of you guys in relationships are just feeling more attractive, and so you and your partner are like having more fun together, and there's a lot of appreciation going back and forth. It's really, really beautiful energy. So definitely mark your calendar for September and know this is going to be a really lively and beautiful month. So when I noticed some of the ups and downs that we've seen with this energy a little bit this year, I was a little worried, like what's going to happen in October? September was so good. Is it too good to be true? Is it too good to last? And don't worry, because I think October looks even better than September. I can't stop smiling. Like, this is going to be crazy, you guys. So we got the ecstasy card, and we also got the sun. Like, pull up sun card. It's been all these months, we haven't seen the sun yet. Come on. Here it is. Here it is in October. And, for those of you guys who are tarot enthusiasts, you'll know that the sun is so happy and uplifting and rewarding and bright. It's like a yes card. I like how in the Wildwood's depiction of the sun, there's like this little horse in the background, which is a symbol of like freedom. And I really do feel like that is the energy surrounding us on October, is just freedom. And the word I'm also tapping into, honestly, is financial freedom. There's a celebration going on, because no longer are you stuck in that lack energy and that lack mentality and feeling like you just had everything stripped away from you. That's what the last couple years have felt like for me, guys, to be honest. Like, maybe not in the money department, but in general, I felt like there was so many things that were just stripped away from me. And, just like that naked, vulnerable energy, just with the events that happened in the world and just, what was going on with me internally. And I noticed that same energy in the collective and a lot of my clients. And it's really nice to know that by like October, we've bounced back from all of this finally. And there is this celebration energy of this, like we've conquered maybe our biggest fear or the biggest blockage that the universe has been presenting us with. And then guess what else I pulled as just a clarifier? Fortune. We got some fortune surrounding us, you guys. That's what's up. And because of that, we got the Two of Wands. It's a crossroads. We're now at a crossroads because I kind of mentioned this a couple of months ago, but this energy is heavy in October that we manifested so much. It's kind of, we have so much fortune, so much good vibes around us that it's time to make a decision. Where do we want to take this energy? How do we want to invest it? How do we want to use it? Because we've cultivated it. It's not like we can hoard it all. Like it needs to be used. It needs to be, returned. We need to stay within the flow of the giving and the receiving. And we have a lot to give now. You can't pour from a cup that's empty. And maybe that's why you felt like you couldn't pour, or you couldn't put out, or you couldn't give, or you couldn't invest for so long. But now you're in that position. And so there's some beautiful decisions that will need to be made over the next couple months. But this month is more of a month of celebration. So I think that's beautiful. And in love, there's something interesting happening. This might be a message that's just for a small group of you guys, but I feel like some of you guys are going to be taking a break from dating right now. And we're seeing the reparenting yourself. You're realizing like, I need to bring love to myself. I need to bring the focus back to me. There's all these good things happening in my life. I don't know if I want to go out there and be drained in love right now. Not like love is always a drain, but it's just, you're like, you know what? Maybe I've not been having a lot of luck. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to focus on me. I'm not picking up on anything for those of you guys who are in relationships. I think a lot of these love cards I'm pulling are more for just general energies, maybe targeted more towards people who are single. But if you do purchase a personal yearly review and you let me know you're in a relationship, I can definitely tailor the reading, for that situation. But yeah, I kind of do get the impression that since we're seeing so many positive cards, it's positive messages in love as well. So I'm interested to see where this goes next. Let's move forward. So November of 2022. I guess what goes up must come down. I'm not saying that this isn't a great month. I'm just saying that this is a month where there's going to be some changes. Because of all the changes, you're going to be doing a lot of processing. And remember how last month we talked about how you're at a crossroads? And so there's this need for you to make some decisions and figure out where you want to take all this energy. Well, it does seem like there's been some slight distraction because I see something about like a heartbreak or jealousy or kind of an upset energy, although the energy looks good in love, so it might not be love for all of you guys. I'm kind of tapping more into like family issues. Maybe it's because the holidays are around for some people, or this could be maybe needing to release, a relationship that doesn't serve you anymore. This could be a relationship with your workplace or a coworker or, a friend. It could be needing to distance yourself. I also see, the word jealousy on this card is standing out to me. It could be that you're noticing everybody else has kind of had their little harvest recently after all the harvest moon energy that we had in October and everybody, manifesting. You might be comparing yourself to other people. Don't get caught in that trap. I feel like there's still a lot of work for you to do. It might be that you're coming back down to earth and getting grounded and realizing, okay, now I got to get to work on the next thing. Life is a cycle, and this is a new season, a new chapter in your life. In many ways, you're back at the beginning, which is exciting, but it's also really daunting because, like, metaphorically, you're looking up at this mountain and you're like, damn, I got to climb that thing, So you're being told that what's going to help really empower you this month is by finding a way to have fun when it comes to your work. The otter card symbolizes, this fun energy. We're getting it next to this work card, the skill card. And so I feel like it's helping yourself to show up every day. For me, I love this job. I love this work that I do, but sometimes it's hard to wake up and to hit play on this camera and show up and pull the tarot cards. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes I don't always love it or want to do it. And I find little things that that make me happy or make me want to show up, like wearing a new lipstick color or something, or, perhaps, making a new spread that I never tried before. So this is reminding you that, you're creating your reality. Create reasons for yourself to show up, to do the work you need to do. So yeah, create reasons for yourself to show up, to do the work you need to do. I like that, It's like a mind game you got to play with yourself, I also see this card, the Lynx, is showing up. The Lynx is like, this is a card that's talking about how there could be circumstances around you that you just cannot make sense of right now. Like I said, it could be people, how they're acting, things that are flowing in and out of your life, the shift, the changing of the seasons, the winds. It's kind of like this vibe of energy changing and molding and transforming, except I don't think it's changing to like bring you a manifestation. It's not like a transition because something's coming in. It's a transition because something needs to go out. And so you could be feeling that energy of like release, and usually around this time of year we're being called to do that. And so yeah, back into shadow work, back into healing, back into releasing, back into shedding, very much in cycle and in tune with the seasons this month. And then there's something exciting in love. I'm getting an engagement card. It could be that very soon or around this time, a lot of you guys will quite literally be getting engaged. It could also be that you're moving. This says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So this could mean that you're locking it down with somebody, or you're taking the next step with somebody. And that's exciting. So some of you guys are having some really good news and love this month. December of 2022, we made it, you guys. Obviously this month is going to be wrapping up this whole year kind of, but then after this, stay tuned, because this is where the real tea in the reading is, where I'm going to be giving you guys advice, a mantra for this year, and just like an overall general reading. Now that I've had a chance to kind of like tap into all this, I'm gonna like decompress, and we're gonna get real here. Okay, so December, I think it's so cute how we got the world tree. This is like a full circle kind of energy, like back where we started, through all the seasons and the cycles. This card usually talks about how like you feel stuck and like you can't get through this door and like you need to be patient. I feel like that might have been what you learned, because I think that there's a sign that by the end of 22, you've ended up exactly where you wanted to be these past few years. Somehow it's all happened, and you thought, because of all the circumstances and situations in the world and all the blockages you had and all the trauma you had to clear and all the freaking awakenings and dark nights of the soul and everything you had to go through, that for some reason you weren't on the right path, or you weren't headed in the right direction, but it all worked out, right? And look, we've got career opportunity card right here with the salmon, and then we also have just the hawk is the bird of opportunity, and you can see that it's sitting on this branch, which is a pine tree, and a pine tree is a symbol of strength, and the dark cloud that's surrounding it is parting. That kind of symbolizes the clearing of like depression, anxiety. I mean, I'm not talking about those of you guys who have been diagnosed with it, because that might surround you for who knows how long, right? But it's just like letting that control you, or that overpowering you, or the darker forces or the shadow energies getting the best of you, the fears, the doubts, the worries, shrinking away from life. All of that has been obliterated. Just a huge healing, opportunities that surround you. And then over here we see the relationship card. So a lot of you guys are ending this year in a relationship. If that's been one of your biggest manifestations of the past couple of years, I see it for you by the end of 2022. And then I pulled some cards for those of you guys who are single. Yeah, some of you guys that might not come through, but they're telling you, hey, get yourself out there and flirt, let go control, let things happen naturally. We all have our own cycles and seasons in life. So wow, you guys. My first impression is that 2022 did not go, like, just when I was pulling the cards, didn't end up anything like what I thought it was going to be. Like, I think I had this impression since it was like a 222 year that like everything was just going to magically pop off. And I think something I said earlier in the reading is, just because it's a new year does not mean everything is just going to magically reset and be perfect. Like, you're the one who has to do the work. I think that's something that keeps happening. Like with all the world events, we keep thinking every time it's a new year that everything's magically going to get better because it's a new year. And that's just not how it works, okay? Although 2022, how everybody's feeling about it and the big energy and the big blessings and the big rewards and the security and the stability, like all those beautiful things I pulled, those did come up in the cards. So if you have been feeling like this is going to be a big year for you, then trust your intuition, it probably will be. I personally don't see a lot of this happening until towards the end of the year. It really is like, this might not be happening gradually. It's going to happen gradually at first, but then it's going to be just like this quantum leap, like the last 3 months of the year, just all of a sudden, like, whoa, accumulation. And so another thing I'm going to say is that this year to me seems at first a little bit more chaotic and ridiculous than 2020, at least with what's going on in the world. So I think people are thinking the more time that goes by, this whole situation will get better and will just blow over, and it's not. I think that there will be kind of a revolution going on in the world this year. I saw a lot of signs about that. I try not to be too radical with these predictions, like this is all obviously speculation. I trust, my gifts and the cards and what I see, and I have a lot of experience with doing this type of reading, but I don't know, I guess we'll just have to see if I'm right. It's just a feeling I have, and there's really no need to be afraid or concerned. I think this far into it, you kind of already know what you need to do, and you figured out kind of like some new habits and new routines, and I feel like this year you're not going to let it get you down. Whatever's going on, whatever restrictions there are, whatever issues there are, whatever your personal beliefs or fears about the world, situations right now, I see a lot of healing. And, the truth is, like I mentioned many times in this reading, this system is collapsing. This system is crumbling. So it will feel very strange to just kind of continue on as if nothing's wrong, even though there's going to be tons of uncertainty surrounding you and surprising things happening. And a lot of chaos, but that chaos is not inside of you. It's a facade, it's an illusion that's being shattered. So the best advice I can give to you is to be an alchemist. Don't let external events govern your internal condition. I pulled a couple more advice cards for you for 2022. The first two cards says nature and teacher. So let nature be your teacher. That's what I've been doing, you guys. I've been immersing myself deeply into nature. And even before I manifested traveling and I just kind of lived in this small suburb town, I would go to the hiking trail, I would go to the local park, I would go to the river, I would drive for hours just to get to the beach and reset yourself with nature, because when you're in nature, you realize that the BS of the world, that's not the truth. That's not what's really going on. And you realize in nature that everything has a place, everything adapts, everything survives. It will remind you how powerful, how strong, and once again, how adaptable you really are. I love how in nature, every little animal, every little creature, every little plant kind of just carves out their own space to live. And that might be a huge lesson of this year of 2022, is that you need to forge your path. You need to carve out your own space to live. You need to show up for yourself. And it's like I said, strong kind of masculine energy. I feel it. And the divine masculine's going through a huge healing and a huge awakening this year. Oh my goodness. We're getting the word ascend. So a lot of people are going through an ascension process or an awakening. Ascend, that sounds so kind of juju, but what it really is just leveling up, leveling up, next level, allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to evolve, allowing yourself to change. It's basically just not resisting the energy of this planet, because you notice that the effect that the forces of nature and the energy this planet has is everything's continually growing and changing and nothing stays the same. So if you're staying the same, then you're resisting this process. So allow yourself to grow, change, and evolve, and be open to how that wants to come. In nature, there's storms, there's fires, there's rain, there's hail, there's snow, there's the sun, there's elements, there's just different, every day is different. And I've realized that living here in Costa Rica, how every day is different, and these plants not only survive but thrive despite that. And so you're being called to be open to what energy is going to be, coming up against you every day, and to flow with it and not resist it. We also see habits. I saw this card a couple times lately as I've been doing personal readings for people. It's interesting to see it as a final message for 2022, that a lot of us are going to look back and be like, realize that we changed a lot of habits this year, like that we've brought in some healthy habits into our lives. And maybe you're wondering, like, how can I get in the flow? How can I ascend? How can I grow? And it's the little things, you guys. It's the little habits, little by little. The last thing they're saying is to have a healthy relationship with your trauma, to realize that, yeah, you have trauma. Everybody has trauma in this world. And in many ways, maybe we came here for that. I know that's a strange way to look at it, but that's just my perception. But you don't have to live in it forever. Learn from the trauma, use it as a catalyst for your greatest good. Don't expect that you're not going to have hard times or hard traumas in this life. Don't expect you're not going to have hard times in 2022 just because it's 222 energy. You can have a healthy relationship with this side of yourself and allow space for it and let it become one of your greatest teachers. So I would say with that my affirmation for you guys for 2022 is, I allow stability, security, good fortune, and bliss to surround me in 2022. Whew, that's all I got for you guys. If you made it through until the end of the reading, comment a rainbow emoji below. I'm curious to see how many people watch the whole thing. And I've got timestamps on this for if you ever want to come back throughout the year, save this reading. And don't forget to check out below so that you can get your own personal yearly review. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I'm so excited for this new year, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching this and for your support. You guys just really are my boost. I was so excited to make this reading for you. I appreciate all your kind words on all of my readings, but especially this one. So thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.